Hello twin flames and welcome to the Divine Masculine reading for Sunday. So I've got a very interesting deck of cards to use for the masculines today. This is a deck that I picked up in Watkins bookstore in London at the weekend, and it's called the Prophetic Tarot of the Bible. So very interesting deck. So I haven't looked at this deck, I've just kind of broke it up a bit, give it a shuffle, and it's ready to use. So I've got the guidebook, so let's see what we need to know intuitively and then see if we can check in for any extra messages. So thank you, angels. What's the energy today around the masculine, please? Too many cards, okay? Not feeling them. It's a brand new deck, remember, there we go. This is the energies in today. So the message is, we've got this is the swords energy, it's the 8 of swords, and we've got the spade. Now, obviously this tells you it's a spade if you're doing cartmancy. You know, so if you're using playing cards to do a reading, this gives you extra guidance that it's spades. And the spade is also connected with things that we dig up. And the 8 of swords is connected with, you know, fear, feeling trapped, feeling like we've made mistakes, feeling that we're in the wrong place. And we've dug our own grave. That's the energy that's coming in. So the masculine is kind of saying to you today, I'm going to look at this in more detail, but intuitively the masculine is saying, I'm sorry that I've got myself in such a mess. He's apologising to you. It's like he's dug his own grave. You know, we say that when we've got ourselves into a situation. You know, it's like people say, you've made your bed, you have to lie in it. Well, you've dug your own grave. You know, it's something that the masculine has done. So he's owning up. He's saying to you, it's my fault I'm not with you right now. It's my issues and it's my situation. So he's taking on board that he's made mistakes. Now, we know as a divine feminine and as a spiritual being that there are no mistakes. Mistakes are lessons that lead to blessings. And everything leads us where we're meant to be. Everything is an opportunity to grow and learn. So I'm really feeling, you know, he's looking around his life. We know he's been doing that because he's been reevaluating things. He's been noticing things. And we know he doesn't like what he sees because he's been having eye problems. Itchy eyes, styes on the eye, runny eyes, problems in the eye. And the eyes have been showing him his truth. And he's been facing that. And he's like, oh, well, I've dug my grave. I've got to dig myself out of this hole. I've got to get out of this hole right now. And he feels like he's in a hole. And when we say we're in a hole, it's like being stuck in a rut. And that means we're stuck in our lives. He feels stuck. He feels like he needs to find a way out. We know he's already doing that, especially if he's in a karmic relationship or he's in a job he doesn't like or he's dealing with something big and he just needs to find a way out in his mind so he feels more at peace. Or he's dealing with an addiction or insecurity or fear. So he's saying, I've made this bed. I've been lying in it, but I no longer want to. I know now I'm capable of changing my life and owning up to my mistakes and sorting things out. So this is also the promise of your union. You know, when he's saying to you, I promise you I'm going to make up for the past. I promise you I'm going to make it right. I promise you that we will be together at the right time. And the 8 of Swords is the energy where, you know, we just feel that everything's too much. You know, the 8 of Swords is a card that says to you, you can move forward. It's fear. It's all fear-based. Maybe you think, well, why is he in a situation like that? Why doesn't he change? Why hasn't he changed yet? Why? Because to you, Divine Feminine, it's very easy for you to move forward. You know, you don't stay anywhere that doesn't serve you. But that's through, and the angels are kind of saying lifetimes of training, because you are a being of power and you are an inspiration and a muse, remember, to your twin. So if you don't like being around people or being in a situation, you change it. That's your power. You don't stay in there. Maybe you've done that before. You know, I've certainly done that before. Stayed in a relationship that wasn't serving me. Stayed in a job that I knew I had to leave. But it's all fear-based. But we get it done. We take control. We are leaders. The masculines just need a bit of time to get that courage. And they follow you. You realise as well that it's very powerful how they take the lead. You find that when you move, they move. And it's a lot like what Bella and Edward went through in Twilight, if you're a Twilight fan. When a mother, Renee, said to her, "You're like magnets. When you move, he moves." And that's what twin flame love is. You are magnets, you are magnetic. So, for example, if both of you are in a karmic situation and you as the divine feminine makes the choice to leave, the masculine will follow your lead. And this is about how we change and grow and evolve. The masculines follow our lead. They're always kind of those 2 steps behind us in their life. And that's why you're thinking, is he ever going to catch up? But he will in time, when he's ready to realise what he's done. And that's where he is now. And so if I show you the card, so this is the divine masculine in this card. This is what we're connecting with. And look what he's doing. He's kind of burying his head in the sand in shame. So he isn't burying his head in the sand as in, I'm not facing up to what's going on, because he's very aware of what's going on. Look at all the chaos behind it. Arguments, fighting, struggle. There's a lot of pain energy there because they're all holding the swords, and the swords have got kind of red blood stains on. So there's a lot of pain around where he is. So this is also showing you in karmic situations, there's a lot of arguments and conflict, pain, unhappiness, struggle, misery. And that's the word the masculines use often, misery. I feel miserable. It's miserable where I am. And they dream about you, a life of freedom and power, and most importantly, love. So he's burying his head in the sand because he's thinking, I'm seeing it clearly. Even now they're giving me like the eye, like washing away. They're also giving me headaches. So headaches are connected with pressure. He feels pressure, not from you, from his own self to get this done. So he's looking around and he's saying, I've got to get myself out of this hole. I've made this mess. I've got to change it. So he's owning up to what he's done. And that's what he's showing you today. So he's got his head in his hands, in shame and blame and guilt. And he's thinking, another week's gone by. And this is what they're making me do, like these body movements. Another week's gone by and I still haven't done anything about it. I need to change before it's too late. I need to take action and speak up and get out of this hole I'm in before it's too late. So I need to dig my way and claw my way out. And it's like, he feels buried alive. He can't breathe. And when we're buried alive, we can claw our way out. And that causes pain to ourselves because we have to fight. And it's time for the divine masculine to fight for this love, to stand up for this love, to not roll over and say, tomorrow's another day. I can do it in the future, because tomorrow never comes. The masculines no longer want to put off what they know they need to be doing now. And that's what he's showing to you. So I'm going to have a look in the book because it's just such a beautiful deck. The prophetic tarot of the Bible is just so interesting. So I want to see what it says. So we're going to go to this card, and this is the 8 of Swords. So the message says, this is about a rape, okay, which is obviously a powerful thing because we learn from every experience we go through. So the masculine has been feeling very abused. So the person in this card has actually been through some abuse and some terrorization, some act of pain. So the masculine is feeling, he doesn't feel like his true self. He isn't respected where he is. He feels abused. He feels low. You respect your man or you respect your woman, and they appreciate that. So he's showing you here, he can't be in this energy any longer. He feels abused. He feels struggle. And also what they show me is if he is with a karmic partner and any intimate relations are taking place, if they are, because most of the masculines, they just push that kind of energy away. They don't want to be around that. They feel abused, even if that person is trying to hold their hand or, be in their energy. It's hard to swallow as a divine feminine because you feel that kind of, it's a repelling energy, like a repulsed energy. And that's what I'm feeling he's in. He feels repulsed by his situation. So if he has or she has had to be intimate with the karmic partner, feels wrong. It feels wrong. It feels a bit like rape here. So not that that is obviously what's going on at all. I'm not saying that at all. This is how they feel. It's the way they are perceiving their situation. So he's saying, I feel abused. I feel like a victim. I need to take control. I know I've dug this grave. I know I've got myself in this spot, a hot spot. I know I've got myself into this situation, and now I am the one who needs to get myself out of it. So it says, negative meanings, and this is what I'm feeling. It says big disappointment. So he's looking around his life and it's a big disappointment. He feels like a big disappointment. Now, this is why he goes through insecurity and fear. This is why he struggles with coming forward, because he feels like a big disappointment and he doesn't want to disappoint you, and he doesn't want you to think there is a big disappointment, Divine Feminine. So this is why we have to have compassion for our twin, because things are not always what they seem. We think our twin sometimes has got it very easy when they haven't. He's going through this inner turmoil. He feels battered, bruised, abused, pained, struggle. We've got violence and vengeance. So again, it says aggression. So this is connected with, arguments and conflict. It says verbal or physical aggression, conflict, arguing with these people. And it isn't just, his karmic partner. If he's in a job, there's conflict around him, negative energy. He needs peace. So your masculine is looking for a way out to find peace, and that comes with you. Betrayal, accident, serious illness. So we know that when we're not happy doing what we're doing and we're struggling, we start feeling it physically. So we may be going through some form of physical distress, ascension symptoms for sure, but physical illness that may have manifested in the body as a dis-ease. And when he feels better, when he claws his way out of this situation, when he gets himself together and makes that decision, which when the masculines make the decision and they set the mind on it, it happens very quickly. He's showing you he's on his way. So he's been dealing with a lot of pain and abuse. And the big thing I'm feeling here is he feels violated. He feels violated because the only person he wants in his personal space is you. The only person he wants kissing him, touching him, talking to him even, being around him is actually you. So anything else is, this kind of like a violation of his personal space. So this is very intense today as we begin a new week, because there's so much change coming in right now. There's so much change, especially as we move towards the full moon on the 16th of May. And that's a flower full moon. Remember, we've been having all these energies of things blooming since Easter, resurrection. And this is about sacrifice. He knows he's sacrificed you. And he knows he's sacrificed his own happiness to remain stuck and stagnant and blocked and where he is. And he's very clearly saying to you, I don't want to block you anymore. I don't want to be away from you anymore. I want to be open and honest and show you who I am and what this love is. And he's giving me fear. So there's this real thinking energy around the masculines. That's what I'm channeling. So it's like he's away with the fairies again. So the people around him may be getting angry and violent and aggressive because he's not paying them any attention. He's in his own mind. He's in his own head, thinking, needing time away. And I don't feel like violence as in, a lot of like knives and things like that. What I'm feeling is maybe pulling the arm. Listen to me. That's what I'm feeling like someone's saying to him. Listen to me. Pulling his arm. He's like, leave me alone. Get out of my space. So that's what's going on. So if he's coming across to you a bit moody or angry or any of those things, it's not you. It's nothing to do with you, Divine Feminine. It's what he's dealing with inside. It's what he's dealing with in his physical reality. So have compassion. Raise your vibration and focus on love. And be gentle. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with your twin. Be gentle with this journey because he's struggling. And, don't get kind of triggered if you think that there's been some intimate relations between your twin and someone else, because I'm not feeling that. Even just touching their arm or trying to talk to them. It's a violation of their privacy. And they feel abused. That's how they feel. And they feel, just not very nice today. They feel like a big disappointment because they feel like they've disappointed themselves. And they're giving themselves a good talking to. This is when Archangel Michael comes in and says to your masculine, get up, warrior. You are not a victim. You are a victor of your reality. You can get through this. Take charge. Take the lead. Get yourself out of that hole that you've dug yourself in, instead of burying yourself in it and thinking that's where you have to stay for the remainder of your life. Take control now, and that's the energy is in. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.